going on, everybody? Patrick Kalmerton. Wanted to get on here and go through some components that have a lot of question on how I do things. So bear with me. Anybody that knows me at all knows that I am a guru, fanatic, addicted, whatever you want to call it, on tip-up fishing. And I use my tip-ups for anything. I mean, I'm crazy. I put rattle reels on the back of my boats because I love that hand-to-hand combat. But I implement a lot of my summer fishing and bobber fishing and all of that stuff throughout the summer into my winter fishing. And there's many reasons I do that. Number one is I can do a lot of different presentations by not being right up on top of them. I can get rid of the noise. I can get rid of my kids running around screaming, all that stuff. So tip-ups is by far my way of really getting after it. And I post a lot of things on how to rig tip-ups and all that other stuff, but I never really get into the nuts and bolts of the tip-up itself. Not even the tip-up, but the business end, which would be the leader. So a lot of people have paint booths for their crankbaits, and they have molds for their jigs and all that stuff. Well, I am big into tip-up leaders. When you're pike fishing, it's easy enough to go over to the CPT or the Clam Pro Tackle, grab one of the pre-made pike rigs, and away we go. That's awesome. That is going to be on a lot of my tip-ups. But I also like to mix it up a little bit. So it's always fun. It's just fun getting into it. So just little components that I'm doing. So if I'm doing a single hook coming down, so I have the barrel swivel, I have the lead, which depending on where I'm fishing, a lot of times I'll use like a 6-pound frost, fluorocarbon, all the way up to 50, 60 pound Seaguar. But today I'm just going to go over a couple of things. So I'm going to take my mono frost, or it's actually fluorocarbon, and I'm going to a 10 pound. So today I'm actually tying them up. I'm using a Seaguar 10 pound fluorocarbon. Again, this is going to be an all-around. I want a little bit thicker than just my walleye rigs. I want it for walleye, pike, all that stuff. I'm going to do a drop shot on here. I'm going to tie up a drop shot for you. And a lot of people are like, what do you mean a drop shot? Well, it's exactly what I said. I run drop shots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go arm's length. Okay, I'm about 5 foot, 5'6" actually. People give me crap all the time. That's all. Maybe 5'7". Maybe it's my story. Just go with it. And with the drop shot, I'm going to use the number 2 mosquito hook by Owner. I like these. It has a real good shank on them. They're sturdy hooks, all that stuff. So I'm going to do a double hook rig. All right. So the double hook rig is going to have 2 hooks that I'm going to put on it. I'm going to put glow beads on it. I'm going to make it adjustable. So while I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come from the initial bead, I'm going to come down about, I would say 2 feet, and that's where my first hook is going to be. So I have some room above that, so it's fluorocarbon coming down to it. I'm going to tie that snell. I'll be back at you. Alright, so now that I have that on there, that one hook is tied on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom of the hook, or bottom of the string again, and come back down through that eyelet. Alright, come back down through the eyelet from the top. And what this will do is it will take that hook, it'll stand it out straight to the side. See how it's standing out to the side? Okay, now before I tie my swivel up on top, my ball bearing swivel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my trusty little tackle box right here. And I'm going to take a glow green bead on this one. Sometimes I use red, sometimes I use green. It's one of them soft pressing glow beads. It's going to sit just like so. Okay? Just like that. You see how it's going off to the side and with the glow bead. So that's the way it's going to sit right there. And right here is the lead. I'm going to tie a swivel up here, a ball bearing swivel, which is a 67-pound ball bearing swivel right there. And the reason I use it so big is because when I reef on it, it don't break. I'll be back. Alright, so now I have my ball bearing swivel, which is going to act as my sinker that was going to go down. Then I have about an 18-inch lead, and there's my first hook. And then I'm going to come back down, and there's my first hook. I'm going to give it another about about 15 inches on that one. And then I got my hang tag down there. So my next hook is going to go right here. I'm going to tie that on after I put a glow bead on. Alright, you see, I have my next hook that is tied on, but it's sitting straight. So again, we have to come back up with our hang tag and come down through the top of the eyelid. Okay, so grab your back side of it, come down through the top of the eyelid again, and cinch it tight. Now, once that is done, then, oh, it circled around on me here. There we go. Sits horizontal. And again, I put my glow bead on there, so now that goes back and forth. So here I have my swivel to my first drop shot right there, to my second drop shot right there, to my hang tag. So those two are tied on right now. So I got my lead coming down to my first minnow, lead coming down to my second minnow, both sitting straight out. And on the back end here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie one little knot on there. Reason being, now I'm going to come in, I'm just going to grab a split shot right here, open that bad boy up, put it on there like so, cinch that down right there. So that's my weight. My drop shot goes down to my first hook, to, oh, there's my bead, sorry, to my second hook, there's my bead, and to my swivel. Okay, now what's really nice about that is when you're down there, let's say right here's my drop shot, and I go down, there's my hook. If I want to be closer to the bottom, because of that drop shot, see how far up there it is? Now if they're hugging the bottom, see that little lead that I got down there? This is really nice with this. Just slide it up. Just slide it up. There. You can get as close or as far as you want. But that is always going to stop it right there.